Hi everyone, it's Miss Forsyth here. For visual art this week, we are continuing looking at our patterns in the playground unit, and this week we're looking at colour and finding colour in familiar places and figuring out how we can use it in our artwork. Okay, so here's your worksheet for this week. This week we're going to be exploring colours that make up our local outside environment. Colour is a very important part of making art. Everything around us has colour. We see colour when light reflects off an object and hits our eye. Colour helps us know if something is alive, like a green tree or a ripe golden mango, and it can also warn us of danger, like a poisonous redback spider or the shiny scales of an eastern brown snake. So the first thing I'd like you to do this week is to have a go at colouring in these objects. So you just heard me describe them, and I'd like you to have a go at colouring those in to start with, please. When you've finished with that, I've got another activity for you on this side. So this says that the colours that come from our environment outside can be used to tell people where you come from. So we've got a scene here, and we know that we probably have a nice tall brown tree and some rolling hills, and depending on the colours that you see there, you might be able to tell where that's from. If you think of Uluru, we all know that that is a dark reddy brown colour. Or Sydney Harbour, you have the grey of the bridge, the blue of the harbour water, and the white of the Sydney Opera House sails. Very iconic. The places around us, whether you realise it or not, have their own unique colours too. So your task this week is to look around outside. It could be in your backyard or just out the window or a local park. You might even look out onto your balcony. And I want you to have a look at what colours do you see. And then it's your job to fill in these boxes with what you can see in nature. So you could use pencils and textures or crayons or paint, whatever you've got at home. Or you can also try collecting some things like some dirt, some bark, some leaves, and rubbing them on the page too, and have a go and see what that's like. It's a really good idea to experiment with different materials. So that could be things you traditionally use that you have in your home already, or things that already exist in the environment. So let me know if you have a go with some different things, and let me know if it turns out or if it doesn't. It might not work, and that's okay. So I'm going to show you what I did for this activity. I went around just so you could see what I saw in our playground at Riverview, and these are some photos that I took. So I've got here some bark. We've got some white with some grey patches. I really liked how strongly reddy brown these dead leaves were. And then here I could see these little it was like used to be flowers, I think, and it was left over was these yellow stems. Here was lots and lots of green leaves and foliage from the trees. Here was some dead grass. Here I liked how it was kind of lighter and kind of yellowing. This was a really like frosty green colour of the eucalyptus leaves. You can see that a little bit up here too. So it was kind of not as bright as this green. It was a different kind of green, which I like. Here we've got where we eat every day, the blue sails. This is some orange netting that Mr. George has used to cordon something off. So I thought that was a nice strong colour when we had lots of natural things. And here we've got a very green fluffy bush in a much darker colour green, and it had these fluffy yellow flowers on it. So over here, I've had a go at colouring in each box. You don't need to take photos. You can just use colours that you see and colouring them in according to what I saw. So I started filling in the boxes as full boxes, which is kind of interesting to see the colours next to each other. But I kind of noticed that, I liked how the shape was part of the picture that I saw. So we've been talking about different elements like pattern and texture, and shape is another one that comes into it. So I think it might have been looked a bit more interesting here if I'd had the holes from the netting in my picture. So that's just something I've noticed afterwards, that when you're making art, sometimes the first thing that you do is not necessarily the thing that you like, and it's a good practice, and you can have another go and try something different. So here I coloured in this whole square green, but then I went back and added some yellow because that was quite important that I saw this fluffy yellow. And then up here I kind of coloured in, not every single bit, I sort of coloured in the brown patch of dirt like I saw it. And I tried with this one to smudge it a bit to get the green to look a bit more like this one. I didn't quite get the right colour green, so I might try maybe using paint and adding in some white to get it lighter, or I could even try using these leaves and see what happens when I rub that on. Here was some, the little yellow, and I liked the direction of the pointiness of those. Here was the leaves. I tried to make sort of all of the different pieces stand out. And then here I tried to draw the shape of that bit of grey bark. I couldn't quite get it the same, but it was still interesting to try. Here I kind of did it a bit lighter because there's so much light in this picture. So just from that little bit of exploring and colouring, I already started to learn some things about what I wanted to do with my picture of the playground and how I wanted to change things. I hope you guys enjoy having a look at the colours around you, and tell me if you see some similar colours to what my experiment found, and you might have some different things. You might not have sails and orange netting, so it'd be interesting to see what other colours you come up with. Okay guys, have a great week. Hopefully we will see you next week, and we can continue making some art. Bye!